Hello and welcome to another Wednesday live stream at Paint and Chat. I hope you're all having a excellent week, albeit a little warm this summer. With me, as always, I've got Mr. Disembodied Voice down below.
Well, hello everybody.
We've got the Painter Flo down in the bottom right. How you doing, Flo?
Hey, doing good.
Nice. And then we've got special guest tonight, Miss Rachel with Rachel Paints Minis on Instagram, a miniature painter and cosplayer. I'm sure she does lots of other things too. She seems to keep herself busy, mostly a collector and possibly devourer of paints. We were learning right before we started.
I eat the paints, that's for sure. I should probably.
She's a brush licker.
I am. I eat the back of the brush, I eat the front of the brush, I eat the paint, whatever, right? I should probably put my handle on this, shouldn't I? I didn't do that. I am inept at this. Apologize.
You know, I feel like being good at social media is probably at the cost of many other things. So
yeah. It's probably the amount of paint that I've eaten in my life.
That's probably that. They're gonna autopsy you one day and find the crevices of your brain is filled with some metallic paints.
Yeah, I don't just have microplastics, I have macroplastics at this point.
There you go. That's the way to do it. So apparently YouTube chat functions now have an XP feature. I'm sorry, I'm not in control of that. I don't know. I don't know what it does. So
really? Oh boy.
Yeah. So
what happens when you level up?
Great question. Everybody just keep chatting and let's find out what happens. Because honestly, I don't know.
I just heard about this literally just now.
No, Paul was telling me about it the other day when he was watching like a video game stream. And it's like they would rank the people in the chat based on how much they were chatting. I don't know.
Huh. Can you like unrank people? Can you?
I think you lose XP if you don't talk for a while, which kind of feels like it doesn't encourage considered thought. It encourages face vomit, word vomit.
Yeah, if you just spam in the chat.
Kind of, right? You're just like,
that doesn't seem like it would be very helpful.
Where do I see this? Now I want to know how much XP people have.
Well,
how do I know?
I don't know. I've got number 1 is Paul. And number 2 is Chekarubov.
Well, how are you? Hi guys. Where do you see that?
On the YouTube Studio side. I don't know if you have YouTube open. Okay. If you can, I don't know.
I'm learning new things every moment as we come along.
Oh no! They're spamming.
Just learned how to game it right there. Exactly. See,
I says hello.
Yeah. This is. I love it. Matthew DeForest, welcome. So, Miss Rachel, you are going to be hanging out with me a little bit at Nova this year, yes?
Yeah, I'll be hanging out somewhere in the bowels of the hotel.
You'll be living in the bowels of the hotel for like 10 hours a day.
No, it's like in the hangar bay of the Eldar ship. That's the 40K area. Like, if you've seen any of the footage of that, it looks like the weird shape of the ceiling and the colors. It looks like some sort of webway construct or something. It's kind of cool.
It's cool. I wish it was brighter.
It's cool for the first, 15 minutes, and then you forget what time of day it is, and then you're in there for 48 hours straight, and you're like, can I even think anymore?
48 hours. They bring in food, so I guess you don't even necessarily have to leave the room except to go to the bathroom.
Pretty much. And then
they bring in food at odd hours, so you'd never know.
Yeah. No, I wish, and I mean, I shouldn't rag on the hotel or anything, they're just doing their job, but I did find you get, I think food stopped at, it was 9 o'clock, I want to say, on the dot. If you weren't already getting your food at that point in mid-order, they were not gonna.
It's union labor. So they're like, nope, the rules say this time it's over. So even if you have a hot dog in your hand and you want to pay for it, if it's 9 and 4 seconds, they just slap it out of your hand and sweep it up.
No, you do not eat today.
Just wait till tomorrow. Maybe. But there's places to eat around, but then you have to leave the hotel and make the sweaty trek to wherever around, of which there are many places.
Really funny if I'm in the Sister Battle cosplay going across the street to
I don't know that would be the weirdest thing to see in DC. Really.
Probably not.
I don't know, if you take your chainsword with you, you're probably less likely to get mugged.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully.
Yeah, they don't know if it works or not. Oh man, I don't think we'd be able to bring it. Disembodied Voice made an awesome EVA foam chainsword that looks so good and is surprisingly like beefy and chunky. So
it's Space Marine scale, but it's kind of to scale. So it's kind of like an eviscerator if a Sister of Battle's holding it.
Yeah, it's like full size then at that point.
So you and Flo are the ones working on something tonight. What is it? What is it you're working on right now, Rachel?
I'm working on these ice themed like chaos knights. Oh god, there we go.
Ice themed chaos. Okay.
Chaos.
Are you doing a water effect? Is that a paint or is that a resin on the bottom?
This is, I think, I can't remember because I actually had one of the guys that used to work for my studio did these bases, and I don't actually know what he used. I think it was like a water effect stuff that kind of like pulls in. I can't remember what he used because I'm not working on finishing up new bases for them. I'm just working on finishing up I'm working on doing like new war dogs for them, and I'm going to do one of the bigger knights later. I don't remember what the bigger Chaos Knight is, which is making me look silly right now, but
I don't know. It's like the war dogs, and then after that,
Desecrator.
Like, they're different knights, and they just have special
blah, blah,
names.
Yeah. So.
And then beyond that,
I'm going to Gen Con. I'll be there.
Are you?
Games Workshop. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So. For more narrative stuff, or
no, actually, doing paint stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited about that. This is my first time going to Gen Con as well. So
very cool. So Thomas, you may see Miss Rachel. Go say hi. Thomas is actually an award-winning painter himself. He's
okay.
Talented, so
okay.
One of the things. So not necessarily painting GW stuff, mostly other models. He's really into War Machine, which is where part of my heart still lies. So and then I'll ask you more here in a minute. But Flo, what is it you're working on, babe?
So I do have vehicles that I'm working on. When I was given these vehicles, they were put into a number of different parts. So there's 2 different backings to them to put weapons on. All of the guys are separate. All of the weapons are separate. So I'm working on a number of different pieces for vehicles at the moment.
Are they magnetized?
This is because it's so big. It has a metal plate here that magnetized.
Oh, okay. And it's magnetized so it can swivel around.
Yes.
Which is important for your toy.
That is the only one that's magnetized, though. The rest of them just loose, or they just sit on there and you can twist them.
Nice. Oh, JP's going to be at Gen Con also. Fun. So cool. These are what? Are these Blood Angel type vehicles, or I see red?
Flesh Terrors.
Flesh Terrors.
Yes, those are good cousins. I like those cousins. Blood Angels are my boys. So
yeah,
but like just the normal Blood Angels because I started with Heresy. So not playing Heresy, but reading the Horus Heresy books. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that dovetails nicely. Like, how did you ever hear about Warhammer or GW or any of that?
So I started miniature painting for my D&D group, and because we all just had like gray minis, and I had never really done miniature painting, but I'd done like other painting before, and I was like, yeah, it can't be that hard. Like, I'll figure it out.
Other painting as in like canvas painting, or
okay, like art stuff through like high school or whatever. So
Flo is much the same way.
Yeah, and then I kind of got into it, and then my my DM for D&D was like, hey, you like sci-fi, right? You like messed up sci-fi. Here, take this. And he just slides Horus Rising across the counter. And yeah, that was the end, basically, from that point on.
The beginning of the end.
Okay, so the lore drew you in.
Oh, hey, Ray! That's Ray. He is Penguin Shark Minis on Instagram, and he runs fantastic paint workshops down in Austin. So if you're ever down for a paint workshop to do in Austin, then he's your guy. And he came to Nova last year as well. So
nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so you got Horus Rising, just given a book, and then what you were like, I'm immediately reading this.
Like, yeah, like Sanguinius was in the book for like 2 sentences, and I was like, this guy's pretty good. I hope he makes it to the end.
Oh.
So yeah,
fair enough. Nice. Yeah. So then you're like, oh, this is a cool world, and they're like, so did you learn about like the video games after that, or just okay, well, here's minis, and by the way, can you paint my minis? Was that how that went?
It was more like I went to the local hobby store, and then I met the nicest French Canadian guy ever who like gently bullied me into playing the game. So yeah, bullying, he's like my as much as a French Canadian guy could bully anybody. But he's super nice. His name's Thierry. Taylor was the guy that got me in on the D&D side. And then he played Warhammer as well. And the funny thing was, he was like, hey, I'm never going to play again. So here's all my old Space Marines and my other stuff. Here, just take them. And gave me like a bunch of vintage models.
Wow.
And then, I don't know, like a year and a half went by. And then he has like 3 armies now or something like that. So, of course, you're like, I'm going to get out of the hobby. And then it's like,
oh, yeah.
No, you're not.
It's the classic VW threat.
Yeah. You never really leave the hobby. So
it's hard. There's like I've talked about it. There's like this trifecta, right? There's the lore as one pillar of that. And then there's the models as another pillar of that, the hobbying side. And then there's the gameplay if you're into doing tournaments or just playing games and hanging out at the game store. And so a lot of times I think people bounce between 2 or all 3 of those, just depending. So, you know, you might get tired of playing because you don't like where the rule set is now, or you don't have time. And so you just go back to like hobbying, or you can't even do that. But, you know, the lore piece is probably the least space demanding of everything.
Yeah. Unless you're like me and you probably have like some ungodly collection of Warhammer books as well, which.
But those still, I would argue, take up less space than armies.
Yeah. And, you know, you can read the stuff on your like I read a lot of them on my phone because I was living in South Korea for a while, and I would read them on the subway, and then I listened to a lot of them. So I listen to the audiobooks when I paint and stuff. So yeah,
I've got the there's a word for it, Tanith, first and only Gaunt's Ghost series that I'm pretty much listening to on audiobook at this point.
Yeah.
So there is that. Let's see. Any new bat reps cooking for anything? No. But other videos, kind of cooking and the Idea 8 thing. It's one of the things Rachel and I were talking about before we started the live stream here a little bit, is like, man, making content. Why is it so hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, it's one thing to make like, you know, oh, when is the next battle report coming out? It's like, and I know my audience is like completely understanding and like the best people in the world, but it's like most of the time it's like, no, you don't understand what goes into making this kind of thing.
Yeah, like, we put a lot of work into the battle reports we would make. And so it took a lot of hours of time and effort.
Yeah. So it was always kind of tough, but at the same time, like the battle report world on YouTube has expanded so much that there are whole teams of people making things that they're able to put out content so much faster for that kind of stuff. The tried and true folks are so good. I love Erica and Andy. They're so awesome in making like these really cool, interesting videos. They push, they have their own narrative event. They actually run at Nova for the War Machine stuff and do tables and all of that sort of thing. Like they're super invested, but they're part of a whole team. Like for the most part, it's like Disembodied Voice, me, and like Flo paint stuff. Like it's not a lot to make a whole production happen.
And Flo is spending most of her time painting stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah.
Flo is very industrious.
She is a busy Flo.
Always.
Speaking of lore and War
Just to
Machine
keep the plastic spice flowing.
Have you read any of the new old Umbri lore stuff? It's plucking some heartstrings, especially if you're a Sorsha fan. Dude, the writing for Sorsha by when it was not Steamforged games was always so cringy to read. And I loved Sorsha as a character. So this is like the War Machine lore, which is like steampunk fantasy, but steampunk done in like the not tacky, I don't know, like Gears.
It's not Victorian steampunk. It
was like a gritty steampunk.
Yeah.
Always really, really cool.
I don't know anything about War Machine.
Well, the 30
other than like their models, like, I don't know. A bunch of people tried when I was playing, starting to play Warhammer. A bunch of people tried like, no, you don't want to play Warhammer. You want to play War Machine. And I was like, okay. And then I sat down for like 5 minutes and they tried to explain the game to me. And I was like,
yeah. War Machine is a much more complex game than Warhammer.
They're like, it's simpler. There's less dice. And I'm like, that's about the only thing simpler in the entire game. Yeah,
that's a lie. Like, it's not simpler.
They tried to con me into it, but continue. I love the primer.
Any of the stuff that you've seen Games Workshop do over the last several years is them aping War Machine. Like the what do you call it? The keywords, having different, like a lot of the stuff that they've been bringing in rules wise is like taken from it, because it's probably the tightest rule set of any game I've ever seen.
Mark II certainly was the case, yeah. And I'm sure Mark IV is substantially there too, if not there. I just haven't played enough of it to speak to it, because I have armies that would need some love, and then I'd need some opponents to play with, which is, a little difficult.
Biggest hurdle here.
Yeah.
And hence why GW lives on, because that is, actually, when you were in South Korea, did you ever meet other people who played Warhammer?
Yeah. Actually, there's like a 40K Korea, that if you look it up, they have like a literally just 40K Korea. It'll come up as like a Facebook group, and they have like a Discord. And like, I think when I joined, there was like 100-something people, and now there's like several hundred people, which is really exciting. And I managed to just randomly find them through like a Reddit comment or something, because I literally packed up all my paints, all my models, shoved it into my case, and I was like, I don't know if there's anybody even in Korea that plays 40K at all, because they don't have like a very big publicized group there, at least at the time. That was like 21, I think. And I was like, well, I'm just gonna be painting by myself and listening to books by myself. And then luckily I found people there to play with, so it was really cool.
No, that's awesome. That is the way to do it.
It's kind of the oxygen that a war game breathes, right? Because a role-playing game, you can usually be like, hey, 3 people I know from work or whatever, like, let's just do this thing. And they might get a miniature or whatever, and you guys hang out, and then they'll read the book maybe or whatever. But it's like a war game kind of is investment for anybody who is going to play. And then on top of it, they need to be playing the same game, because I've heard some people are like, oh, we just change the rules and do this, house rules. And it's like, I guess, like, you definitely can, but for the most part, 99% of people who play are just playing whatever is current, because you go to your game store and that's what everyone else is playing.
Yeah.
If other people at the game store are playing your game, and if they're not, it's real hard to get people to get enough people to even play. And so it's why I would see like a Kickstarter go out like, hey, this is our new tabletop war game. And it would be a Kickstarter, and it would go out to a lot of places. And it's like, cool, except you sent it out to a bunch of individual little people, right? Where it's like, you're not fostering little communities. You're giving it to individuals who enjoy it. They like the game. They'll paint miniatures, put them on their shelf, talk about them online on the forum, but it never gets played, and then the game dies out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's why 40K, I think, has lived so long. Is because it's the one that if there's a game store, somebody's there playing 40K.
By the way, Tavern is carrying War Machine models again. And
Really?
Louise and a few other people have picked up boxes, and they're building armies.
Oh,
what? Oh my god. I need to visit them. I like Tavern of Souls is one of our local game stores here. The guy who runs it is super cool. I still have to do a giveaway of a Krieg box that he gave me.
He also plays in a metal band.
He plays in a metal band. I know. He's like super It's like metal AF, cool dude.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. Oh, I don't have that open. And I lost my windows. Yay me. Let's see, where is that one? No, there was an interesting comment from up above. We got a few comments here, so I wanted to make sure I grabbed it. But now
interesting comments.
Pale Flame said, I also started painting for my D&D group. I'm the DM, but my local hobby shop has Warhammer nights. I'm thinking I should go, but I'm also afraid of sinking too much time, money into it. That is a real risk.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Throw yourself in.
That would be my advice.
What could go wrong?
There you go. Everybody here says, do it. But yes, if you fall in love with it. I mean, it is an expensive hobby. Let's not mince words about that. It definitely, but at the same time, you can be cheap about it if you need to be, like getting secondhand models and, or even borrowing armies.
Secondhand models, and if you really are worried about sinking too much money in it or getting buried in plastic, get the expensive points-wise models.
Mm-hmm.
Or like jump in and play Custodes or something, because your army will be like 30 people total. Yeah, knights. There you go.
Knights.
Yeah. So but with knights, every model is pretty expensive.
True, but like you are, you're basically buying
like 10 guys ever.
You're buying like 4 or 5 models total if you want to have like a playable list, and then like you can just, debt is temporary, plastic is forever. just go for it.
Literally.
Or at least, 100.
There goes Savage Brewski. Crippling debt is nothing compared to missing out on glory that is having a fully painted miniature army on show while surrounded by people with gray plastic.
I do love having a fully painted army. So I've got a fully painted guard army, and I've got one beautifully painted Rogel Dorn, and then I've got 2 boxes because I need to make my additional 2 Rogel Dorns because I love tanks. They're my favorite.
So when are you doing just 4 Baneblades?
I don't actually have a Baneblade. I have the offshoot one. I have a Storm Lord.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Just anything that's a Baneblade chassis, you just 4 of those.
So I've had my Stormlord box for many years at this point, and occasionally I sort of look at it and I slide the box open and I look at all the sprues and I just sort of slide it back in and set it aside. That's a lot of sprues. I keep thinking like, oh, would it be cool? It'd be a cool video one day to just like sit down and like time lapse me putting it together, because I could follow directions, whatever. Like I could theoretically put all that together, but it's like you need to just dedicate the time.
Yeah, but once you did dedicate the time, now you have your Stormlord.
Now I have a Stormlord, so people can be like, oh, I like the Baneblade better. Oh, Stormsword's better. Like,
okay, whatever. Look, I'm going to put my little guys in the back. That's the one that's the little transport one, right?
Oh, yeah, it's the party barge.
Yeah. The party bus. Look, I'm going to put my little dudes in the back. Boop, boop. Like, yeah, see? You could do that.
You can actually have a whole grip of Ogren hanging out in the back of that thing.
I mean, I still love the flyers, too. Like, I'll rock my Vulture gunship once in a while. It's like, this is not worth the points. But golly, I just love it. It's so pretty.
I like the...
Books got canceled. What?
Aww.
What happened?
No.
Don't say that. Secondhand Market has been a challenge, says the guy painting a proxy for the child Grimkin. Okay, so in the case of some of that, we are in a strange age of bootleg minis too. I mean, there's a lot of like 3D prints and popsicles and Hulk 3D. Like, there are so many options. If you can't do it, like, you should support the game company that you want to play the game for.
And if you want to, like, if you want to, like, do an army that, like, doesn't exist or something like that they don't have, like, a friend of mine is doing Feudal Guard, and they don't have Feudal Guard, so, or I have a full converted Exodite army that I have yet to paint for somebody, so, yeah, you could do something like that, with cool proxies and whatnot that they sell out there. So.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch of fun proxies. There's also, like, I think it's Popsicles that does it. Paul is always showing me my fun moderator, he's always showing me like these not models. So it's like, it's not RoboCop, it's not the Predator, it's not a Xenomorph. Like,
it's a
definitely
robo law enforcement agent.
Yeah. But they're like different takes on them slightly. So you could do proxies of that, if you want your general to just be someone. Like for my Catachan, I liked painting all of my guys to be the different kind of 80s super musclemen, like action heroes. But it'd be really cool if I had just an actual mini that was like, that's the Stallone mini, and that's the Van Damme mini, and that's the, like, I don't know.
There's Vasquez. There's the Phoenix, Simon Phoenix.
Yeah. I did paint Simon Phoenix. I love that. Have you ever seen Demolition Man? It's so good.
Yes.
I knew I liked you.
I have.
It's so good. But
one of your favorite movies, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Grimkin are currently out of print, but Steamforge do plan to do a limited run for them. Yeah, so for the case of War Machine, that IP actually got purchased by an English or UK company, Steamforge Games, and they're revivifying it. But one of the really clever things that they've done for marketing is that you can actually 3D print some models. Like some models they're not just currently putting out there. There's like a base set that you can just 3D print yourself if you want to just try out the game. And they promote 3D printing of terrain. I think all tabletop games need beautiful terrain. I love that. So that's been kind of a neat thing. So you can still buy like the additional models to fill out an army. But if you're like, I don't know, I just want to get started and I don't know that I want to invest $80 or whatever in a starter box, you can do that. So.
Well, it kind of addresses, and I've said this for years at this point, but it kind of addresses that first comment I made where it's like, well, how do you get people to play in your area? It's like, well, if you just have a 3D printer, you can just give them some models. Like, hey, this is this kind of a handful of models for this faction. Let's see if you enjoy the game. If you enjoy the game, maybe you can buy some, but let's just get you to play, and it actually allows games to grow and germinate in local game stores.
Yeah. Stuff like War Machine and Warcaster, it's a tough situation. Steamforge Games doesn't make or sell all the factions and minis. And if you're dead set on something like Menoth, now, I mean, with that, something like Menoth or Trollkin, pretty much everything other than Grimkin, arguably, I think you can still find on the secondhand market in abundance. I ended up adopting mini armies over time for that.
Yeah.
So Ray asks, what do you both think about the increasing popularity of mini-agnostic games like one-page rules and Trench Crusade? Do you think it's a fad or is it the future?
Trench Crusade is super cool.
Yeah, are you into it?
I like the lore. I like the models. I like things that are mini-agnostic too. Like mostly because I like making custom stuff. So anything that allows me to kit bash aggressively is really cool. But that also means I'll probably never end up playing them because I'll just make 2 or 3 minis and then get really excited about it and then never finish the rest of my army or paint them and then look over at them sadly. So
No, I think one-page rules has enough, I don't know, unanimous consensus. I think, that people
like people are playing it.
Yeah, because I think it's one that everybody's gotten a hold of, but Trench Crusade's kind of making a footprint. I think the mini-agnostic rules really, like, I think it only leans into certain games, right? Like, what was it? The Wizard one way back in like 2013 or whatever. Frostgrave, thank you. Like Frostgrave was a great one because everyone owns a handful of D&D miniatures and you could just be like, hey, well then you can play the game. And it's like, oh, that's cool. And so it was pretty agnostic in that way. And then Gaslands.
Oh yeah.
Was like, it's kind of fun to go buy some stupid Hot Wheels and put guns on them. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a little bit silly and everyone's like, I'll do that. It's
Hot Wheels with guns.
Right. And so it's like this kind of like, okay, fine. Those ideas work. But I think it has to be a unique idea like that. I don't think just any general game can just be like, what? My miniatures are agnostic, so I don't have to bother, designing them or making them. Now play my game. It's like, rule sets are a dime a dozen. Like,
yeah, and that's something that I ran into when we went to Adepticon, not as a couple years ago, and I saw this table, and the artwork looked really cool, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this game?" And then it was like, "Yeah, it's miniature agnostic." I'm like, "Oh, so it's artwork. You can't get any of these minis or anything like that. You're not actually
Yeah.
playing with any of. It's just a board and some rules."
Oh, hey, Eric.
Well, if it had minis, I'd be interested.
Eric showed up in the chat. Hi, Eric.
That's my homie Eric. Chemical Sunsets on Instagram. He makes insanely beautiful terrain. He did some of Chris's boards for Nova.
Yes.
So,
we had
yeah.
one of
He was at Valhalla this last year.
Yeah, that's that Eric. Yeah, you guys know him. So,
Yeah.
That's that Eric. Yeah.
that Eric.
Eric's cool.
Hi, Eric.
All these insanely talented painters. I'm like, I'll just let anyone else paint my minis. I'll just go. I may join a tournament in September. That's probably going to be my contribution to the gaming right now.
Speaking of painters, where the heck did he go?
There you go. There you go.
There it is.
No.
Jerry does some really cool, just old school miniatures. Yeah, just general ones, but he does a lot of freehand painting on them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
really
No, I'm
cool.
out. Goodbye.
Not your jam.
No, I like it. I just, I don't. This is going to sound really dumb, but Flo will understand. People don't pay me enough to do freehand on most of my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No, that's why I don't do any of it.
Like, I did some recently on the stuff that I painted the Saturnine Terminators that were on display at GW Dallas. And I think they'll be at Tacoma and Gen Con too. But I did like the lava fire shoulder pad things on them. That took forever. That took probably as long as the rest of the models did. And no, people don't pay me for that usually. So, but I wanted to make them look good. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually
saying you volunteered your time for that aspect of it.
More or less, yeah. So, but I mean, it's fun when you get to do it.
Well, and I assume Jerry's doing it for his own models. They look beautiful when he does that. So,
and he agrees.
As far as the miniature agnostic thing, I think we live in an age of too many options. I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed with stuff. And so too many game companies all demanding your attention for a hobby that kind of specifically is greedy for your time. It's different than just like playing a video game of the week. I don't know that you could do that with miniatures. There's too much permanence to them. So miniature agnostic would arguably have like, oh, I could use my same minis for these types of games, but it's never that, because those miniature agnostics still have specific settings that are going to be sci-fi or fantasy or steampunk or some specific thing that you're going to make up new miniatures for. So I think it's nice if you're going to invest your time into a game to also see the miniatures they have on offer, because no matter what game you're playing, if you want, you can always put in proxy miniatures. There's no law against that. And I doubt any game store, outside of heavy tournament scenes, are going to give you any crap for bringing in your custom models to play the same game. So any game can be miniature agnostic if you really want it to be.
Most.
As long as you're not in a GW store.
Well, yeah. So
but they barely let you play games with their miniatures in their stores.
Right. So, I mean, aside from that corner case, I don't know that miniature agnostic games as a specific genre, I guess, make it. I think you get a few outliers, like you said. Frostgrave did really well. Trench Crusade seems like it's doing pretty well. We'll see how that looks on the long term. But they're going to need they're going to have to bring something pretty major to keep people's attention in playing. So that's my 2 cents on that one. Still, my favorite part of the hobby is terrain. Well, you do amazing stuff too. Yeah,
Plunder Den's got some great terrain.
Oh yeah. So for the Blood and Plunder game, it's a seafaring game. Really cool. Ships and all of that sort of thing. And JP Got Rockets with Sea Dog Studios also has really cool stuff. And then Dexter. Oh gosh, there's just too many good things. So, I've got an audience of all these talented painters. I'm like, I don't compete with any of you guys.
You're not bad at painting. You just don't like to take the time to do it usually.
Yeah. I like painting faces, and then I wander away from the rest of it.
You like painting the faces, the
like.
part that people
Most
hate
difficult
usually.
part?
Yeah, no, it's like the little. That's the one thing I wanted to be any good at. So I would like sit and dick around and make sure like their eyes were straight, and like if they maybe put color in their eyes or something. And
wow, okay.
Just
all right, okay. You just want to say you're better than all of us, and that's fine.
Casually about
that. Whatever. Also, as far as games and Games Workshop stores are, I'm really spoiled because I live in a state and not too far away from the Citadel, like games, the Warhammer Cafe. So
Ooh,
they have like a whole
wow.
section in the back with like really beautiful tables and terrain. And
oh yeah, no, that's amazing.
Yeah,
so
people
you
are
get
cool
to go
there.
play on those when you
yeah, shout out to the Warhammer Cafe and Grapevine. Everybody that works there is really cool. And I miss them. My studio used to be like right next to there, so I would literally just walk over there and get paint and coffee and just hang out with the people in there. So I miss that aspect of that, but
nice. You're pretty much home studio now?
Yup. Which is nice because I'm at home, and then it sucks because I'm at home. So
you also live next to oh gosh, what is the name of them? There's a whole miniature company that's just
Reaper?
I think north of you. Reaper.
Yeah. Yep. And it's great because I never get to go to ReaperCon.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of rough.
I wonder why I don't get to go to ReaperCon.
You know, you guys, we gotta all make sacrifices in this world.
You know, it's like literally down the street, and I don't get to go.
What faction any game has your favorite aesthetic? You're gonna say GW, aren't you?
Me?
He's gonna say Blood Angels.
Hello.
If it's not Blood Angels, though, if you have to,
you had to make a second choice.
Yeah, if you had to cheat on your Blood Angels, who would it be with?
I mean, I really like Warhammer wise, the second favorite would probably be Titans and like Knights. Titans is actually my first favorite, but you don't get to play that. Yeah, you don't get to play that in like typical Warhammer. But that's really the thing that got my like whoa, Titans are cool because I like mechs. Funny enough,
Miranda can relate. Big stumpy robots are her thing.
Big stumpy robots is why I got into War Machine because that was the original like draw of that.
I like Knights and Titans. So
those are pretty good choices. Adeptus Mechanicus have a really awesome aesthetic.
Yeah, I don't want to paint them ever.
No,
never.
I feel like they have too many little fiddly bits. You're just spending all your time painting, right?
But man, they look. They look good.
So one of the commissions that fully like broke me on ever doing commissions like that large ever again was AdMech. I did like I don't know 5,000 points of AdMech like all at once.
Didn't I do a few of your guys' AdMech?
Yeah, you did.
It was so brutal.
They weren't that bad.
Yeah, there's like a couple of one-offs, but they're very.
It was an AdMech kill team.
that little AdMech engine seer killed Gazgul against Angry Joe, and did he? Yeah, that was awesome. That was worth it.
For me, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Like game-wise, I'm probably gonna lean more towards Grimkin. The only tabletop game I've actually really played is Malifaux, though, because I like horror.
I know, JP, it's brutal, isn't it?
I would say that. So, like, I was pretty good at painting Menoth, right? Like, some of the Menoth stuff is really good. But there's so much filigree on the edge of every piece of armor that it takes forever to paint a guy.
Chaos.
And it was just like, chaos. I imagine it's got to be the same way.
Chaos, literally chaos, or like 1,000 Suns, probably the worst version of that.
Oh man, I just finished painting a 1,000 Suns army like 2 months ago.
Really? More than like all the Chaos Space Marine stuff? They always seem like they were just
1,000 Suns are literally all it's all trim.
It's just all trim. Okay.
Their armor is
They don't even have armor. It's just trim.
It's just trim.
Then they also have like the lines of like yellow and blue in between all the trim that you have to like get in there and get properly. And
oh gosh,
biblically accurate trim. Yeah.
Well, speaking of maddening hobbies, I hear you're also a cosplayer.
Oh yeah. That's another thing. If anybody shows up at Nova, I'll be in the Sister of Battle cosplay, which, funny enough, like got a picture of me got shared to like a bunch of Facebook groups that had like a bajillion like followers in that cosplay, and then I didn't know what was going. It's literally the picture that picture of me
Not
holding
that
the sword blade.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and I was like,
picture.
what? Because I woke up.
Where'd you all come from?
Yeah, literally, like, who are you people? Like, it was pretty funny. It's cool. Like, I like that, and I liked the fact that whoever posted it actually credited me, which is amazing.
Also,
But,
she has some sweet dance moves.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
I
don't know how to act in front of a camera.
Yeah, you're doing all right.
Yeah, whatever. It's not like it was my job before this or anything.
I was gonna say, didn't you used to be a model?
Yeah, we're not talking about that. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But,
She's
yeah.
done many things. But yeah, it's like super awesome. Okay, so that was part of the build.
Yeah. Yeah. I started with a kind of base cosplay and then hit cables in my old studio. But yeah, I started building it up because I knew I would have to travel with it often and I'd have to wear it for like 12 hours at a time and all this other stuff. So
yeah, no, I remember evaluating, like seeing the design of it is really cool. Oh yeah, and then you're working on this big boy.
Oh yeah, Titan.
Super. You're showing off your
my paint pen hack. I still have those paint pens. They're right next to me. They're like oil-based paint pens.
Nice.
And they're really, really good for stuff like that. They're super high coverage, just in one go. So.
And you said those are the 8K, right?
No, these ones are actually Deco Color. They're like you buy them at like a hobby store.
I've used those.
Yeah,
they don't tend to last long enough in a dry climate.
No, probably not for you guys. Oh yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
It helps him go faster.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep his hind legs from getting up off the ground too much and losing track.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's got good downforce for you, right? Like, come on.
Nice.
Titans are known for their lack of downforce.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'll be joining us as a Sister of Battle again at Nova?
Yeah, there we go. There's a Sister of Battle. Yeah, absolutely. I will be there.
So if you are going to Nova and you're part of the 40K narrative campaign, then you can get yelled at by this sweet lady to check the rules and guide you as to what team. Because there's usually like
on the left?
2 or 3 teams. Huh?
Hmm?
I'm gonna go back down. What is that one? There's a
this one?
Oh, that was me at the Grand Narrative, the Warhammer Grand Narrative.
That's a Warhammer thing still, right?
Yeah. That is my my Slaneshi corrupted noble. That I was yeah, that was me. So and I had a great time.
Cool.
I really encourage everybody, like, if you love narrative, it's like the most Warhammer event you could possibly go to. Everybody is so into it. There's like you just get to see fun stuff like that, like GW employees tossing the corpse of your favorite character out of the backstage. Yeah, so
makes sense.
Grand Narrative is awesome. Oh yeah, see, look, Blood Angels. Woo. Yeah.
I don't know why it looks like all those like bloodthirsters are worshiping him.
Yeah. They should,
great.
as they should, be like, oh yes, you are far angrier than me. Yes.
Excellent. And then you also have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, so Sensei Swag Mini Art. So I run Sensei Swag Studio. That's kind of how I got my big start of Warhammer painting is under Viet at Sensei Swag. So now, since unfortunately Viet passed away about almost 2 years ago now, which is crazy to say that, I've been running the studio ever since. And painting and doing cosplay and doing stuff and drinking Jack Daniels and, doing the fun stuff. So, yeah.
But never painting drunk, of course. That would be irresponsible.
What? No.
Only during parties.
I don't do that. Never. Not ever.
Well, that's cool. I mean,
hey!
Just need to get some stuff.
Yeah. Meryl Streep, this is funny. Yeah. I painted a Jagatai-Con and a Quinja model for him, which was actually it got a pin for Golden Demon, which was cool.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah. It's my first time entering, and all my friends bullied me into entering the commission that I had painted for him, and yeah, it ended up getting a pin, so that was fun. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Adepticon was really fun. So.
Yeah, we went in 2024. Yeah, we didn't go this year. We haven't checked out the new location. What's that new place like?
I don't know what the old one was like because I didn't go to the old one. This is my first ever time going, so I can't compare it. But it was awesome. It was like a huge convention center, and like it was my first like hobby focused convention other than Nova that I had gone to. And I mean, during Nova, I work the grand narrative area, so I don't really get to like go into the like hobby section.
Yeah, they don't let you out to see.
No, I'm chained to the tables. I don't get to leave until everyone else leaves, and they don't leave because there's night ops, so I'm there forever, which is fine. I love it. I love being a part of the story, and like I'm contractually obligated to say that. But
you're contractually obligated to love it.
Yeah,
but you love it anyway.
No, I really, really do love it. It's super fun. But yeah, so Adepticon was basically the like first time I got to go to a hobby con, and yeah, it was like in the like behind the cabinets, like moving models around for Golden Demon, which was stressful. But yeah. Oh, the modeling that we cannot talk about is actually I was a fashion model in Korea and Japan. So I don't know what other modeling people talk about on the internet, but it was like fashion modeling.
So there may or may not be models of you, I guess. I don't know.
No, there's like
there's fashion photography of her.
Yeah, there's fashion, like tons of, like you can even go on my Instagram, my other model Instagram. It's there. But yeah, there's pictures of me like doing really glamorous like clothing shoots and stuff, and then there's like pictures of me on the internet like modeling dog strollers and like washing machines and stuff that's not really glamorous, but it pays the bills.
Pays the bills, yeah.
So I was in music videos and commercials and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I did that for like 5 years. Yeah, it was super fun. But I'm glad I get to do this now and like eat whatever I want and like paint toys all day. So yeah.
She eats what she wants and she paints what she wants.
So what? I said paint a lot, but you don't necessarily get to play so much these days. Do you miss it, or are you just happy to be kind of hobbying right now?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, like, I used to play, like, more competitive because, like, my boyfriend and all of our friends play, like, tournaments.
Yeah.
And I'm much more of, like, a story, like, lore hobby kind of centric player, so I don't necessarily want to be, like, 6 games because I don't paint something that is competitive or trying to paint to keep up with like whatever meta. So
you know, it's like I never understood. That's
I get it from like a not like a I want to win at all costs kind of thing, but like a I want to make like kind of get as much as I can out of the rules of the game sort of thing.
Well, it's the thing that I always argued with competitive players. Would be like, well, casual players don't care if they lose. It's like everybody cares if they lose. Everybody's playing to win, you know? Like, come on, you know.
Well, it's like I care if I'm playing an army that, like, I know statistically has 0 chance of winning any game, and I'm gonna definitely lose every single game, and that's gonna like kind of suck. At least because the objective of a competitive tournament is to win, versus the objective of like a narrative tournament is not necessarily to win. You can
I just like rolling dice and watching all my guys die. That's fun.
Well, in a narrative game, you could do that. You could genuinely build a list where you're like, I remember talking to a guy at Grand Narrative, and he was like, yeah, my list idea for next year is I'm going to have 1 like rogue trader and like 100 breachers or something, and the whole point is like he's gonna just arrest that Carnifex, like kind of, and like just send them all to their deaths, like no thought for their safety, and that was gonna be like the joke of his narrative list, and that's fine. You can lose every game that way because that's the point.
Well, you're just adding another dimension to it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're setting yourself up for a great time when the dice just happen to give you the victory anyway.
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
this isn't what I wanted.
That's
you were supposed to die, like, so.
But you did it, and now you're a hero, and I don't know what to do with you now.
Crap. I don't know what to do. Demoted.
Some von Munchausen there.
Oh my
so goodness. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that sort of thing.
For your Slaanesh-ish cosplay for the GW event, was that a costume you also made?
Yeah, I did that entirely from the ground up, kind of. So
okay,
sewed a bunch of stuff for it and made the corset thing and had some 3D printing help with the pauldrons and stuff, and then that was
the pauldrons are really cool with the skull.
It's just a big skull. Yeah.
Just a big, well, you know.
But it's Warhammer, so it's like it's gotta be big skulls. Like, what else are you gonna do, right? So, and her whole character concept was like she was the daughter of like a planetary governor, and she was like obsessed with finding like making perfumes, and so she was going to the battlefield to like sample the scents of like death and like, you know, weird stuff like that. And so eventually it's like Slaanesh by obsession, not Slaanesh by what's typically the, you know,
not sexy Slaanesh.
Yeah. So yeah, my character was like totally covered up, and what you can see in a couple of the pictures is I'm wearing like 9-inch platform.
I was about to ask if there's like 8-inch heels, but I guess they're 9.
They're like this. They're humongous, and I didn't fall down once in 3 days, so that was amazing.
Were you like standing for 10 hours a day doing that?
I wasn't standing. I was walking around, but they're actually really comfortable.
So basically you're saying you were running around in painter stilts.
Essentially, yeah. But it was great because it was like my character had a lot more aura and was intimidating by virtue of the fact that I was like 6'3" or something at that point. Yeah. So it was kind of like fun that way. So
that's awesome. Yeah. I love it.
I got to walk around with my little fan and, you know, try to convince people to join Chaos, and I wrote their name down in a little book and like, you know, gave them favors and stuff if they joined Chaos, and it was just fun. Yeah.
Join Chaos, we have swag.
Literally. I gave them little necklaces with like stuff on them. It was super fun.
Oh my goodness.
Jeremy's late. What are we gonna do with him?
Just fire him. He's just one of my friends. I mostly just do these streams to hang out with my friends, frankly.
There we go. Study perfumes and hang drywall as a side gig.
I love it.
Basically.
I love it. We got a lot of pictures on the Facebook that I have to go collect. But yeah, so and I don't know if you want, I just have to point out, in case the audience hasn't already commented on it, your freaking paint rack wall is so impressive.
Yes. It's kind of like a...
Is this really a look at her rack moment? Come on.
Look at her rack.
Check out my rack. Yeah, my huge rack. Isn't this amazing?
I mean, that is enormous. Wow.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's like a mental disorder at this point. Yeah. It's many paints.
So what you got there? Explain.
Let's see what we got. We got Tamiya. Let's see. Tamiya. This one is Coat d'Arms. This is Chimera. This is all the Vallejo basing pigments. This is Minotaur. This is Citadel. And then this is the Liquitex inks. This is some Vallejo. This is all Army Painter. This is all Tooth and Coats. This is Vallejo Mecha. This is all the AK range, and that's all Pro Acryl. Yay!
I don't see any apple barrel in there. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, that's over there where I paint terrain. Yeah.
All right. Well, as long as you got some under the roof, like, you know, we're good.
For sure.
Yes.
And I love getting to test out all these different paints. It's really like different paints for different purposes, but also I have like commissions that people will be like, oh, I'm adding XYZ unit to my commission, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I used this Vallejo paint chunk here, so I'm just gonna use that again instead of mixing a bunch of paints. So.
It's probably helpful as well for people who've painted half their army and they want you to add to it, and they're like, hey, we've been using the GW paints, or we were using whatever. You're like, I got that.
It seems like that would make the most sense. Yeah.
Yep. And then it looks cool for pictures too. Viet had a big wall of paint, and that was kind of his like signature thing of like he'd take pictures of finished models and progress stuff in front of the paint rack, and so that's kind of like it looks cool for pictures. So
I believe it. That's awesome. Well, cool. So the conventions you'll be at this year, it's gonna be Gen Con, it's gonna be Nova, and you're at the Narrative in Atlanta. Is that the last one?
And Tacoma.
Oh, when's Tacoma?
Next week. Oh yeah.
So you got a lot of travel.
Yeah. I'm going. So.
And then
yeah. Well, sorry. A little more locally. So the picture of me with the sister cosplay, and then the big sword thing on my Instagram. That was actually for Brush and Blade, which is our like Texas local event that me and a couple other people run.
So it's why your sword is a paintbrush?
Yeah. So it's a brush and a blade.
Now, is that actual paintbrush? Are those bristles, or are they just shaped to look like it?
No, that's like I took big paint, like house paint brushes, and I laid all the bristles out and like glued them together, and then like shaped them into a tip. So you can't actually like brush with it, but it's like it is a paintbrush. And then we have these little ones that are about this big, and they're on little plinths, and those are. And I was trying to see if I had one like nearby. But if you scroll over, on the pictures, there should be pictures. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the little thing, and then there's all the little brush blade like trophies that.
That's so cool.
So.
And you said that's local?
Yeah, that's in Texas. So that's in Dallas. We did a 8-man team tournament. So that's the pictures of that. And then we're gonna do a narrative event in October. We're gonna do more singles tournaments and stuff like that. It's kind of like our brush and blade is our like thing now. Oh yeah, that is I took a paint workshop with Eric Swinson down in Austin that Ray put on, and that was awesome. That was really, really fun. My brain hurt a lot, and non-metallic metal's really hard, but it's fun. Oh, that is a foam. I made it out of like Harbor Freight floor mats.
Yeah, I think there's like sort of the shot of the base. And just contact cement to hold it all together?
Lots of contact cement. I actually have to do like, you have my YouTube linked, so eventually I'm gonna do that, a video about it.
Yeah.
But I've got lots of process stuff to upload about that eventually.
Have to do some cosplaying together. I think that would be quite worth it.
I want to do like another cosplay soon. I don't know what quite yet. Maybe like Warhammer. Yeah.
In the Warhammer world. Okay.
I don't know why. I feel like Eldar is coming down the pipeline.
Is it like just like the vibe, or you think?
I don't know. I'm just
it would be an involved costume. Like Guard is almost like a very different aesthetic, right? Like the sister is very filigree and fancy, and I feel like the Eldar, they're fancy in a different way. I feel like they'd work well with a foam.
That and Tau, but I don't know. Strike me as a Tau cosplayer.
It's funny that you say that, because like my boyfriend's main first faction that he played for a long time was Tau, and it's probably the one I've painted the most of. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't painted the most of them because he takes forever to build them, and so he has now some for me to paint, but mostly I've painted his Necron army. So.
Oh boy.
Blue.
Yeah, I don't know that I see you doing Necrons, but Eldar I could certainly see.
I actually want to do a guard cosplay.
Oh yeah?
I saw Minka Lesk has like several models, but one of them she's got like a jacket, like a coat with like the little armor piece and everything, and I really kind of that one's cool. Like I haven't read her lore yet, so I feel like I'd need to read all the books.
Oh yeah, what's her name again?
Minka Lesk, I think.
Minka
I'm
Lesk.
not a big guard person, which I think is like, you know, probably to the chagrin of many of my friends that are big guard people, like Katie and Sergeant Steele, and
so I keep
you and everybody.
I keep leaning toward. I keep trying to decide if I want to try to do a cosplay of the I don't know. I'm blanking on the word. My Dark Tide character.
Your Zealot?
Zealot. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like a Zealot cosplay. I do already have kind of the Eviscerator for it, and it seems somewhat simple. Like there'd be a few armor pieces I would just model and print, and then the rest of it kind of looks like you just take a few hoodies and cut them up for the way the armor looks.
That's true. That's true.
Why not Lotara Sarin? I could just join the Lotara Sarin gang, and there'd be like 20 of us.
That
like every con.
A very popular one.
I'm not even like mad. I think that would be super fun. Like we all just roll up together and bully World Eaters players or something. Like
I believe it. I believe it. Now I'm trying to remember her name. It is of course fallen out of my head. But yeah, there was a Lotara Sarin, like
Darcy.
Have some pictures. Yeah, Darcy. She's really cool. So
that's why I would be like, I don't know if I want to do Lotara because like Darcy's like the Lotara, you know.
It's like she's the one, so you feel like you're more, I guess, imposturing that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like if there's enough of them, it sort of comes back around as to the Sarin Club. So
the Lotara Sarin Club.
Exactly.
To address Andrew Fairbanks, you're looking at the picture of it right there. That's the little servo skull I made. So that's how I
want to see you
voice does it.
Like in a black suit, holding that on a stick. Like that's it.
A black suit or a green one? Like the little green like CG.
Yeah, green screen suit.
Yeah.
Oh, so I've actually done one more cosplay, and if you bring up my Instagram and you scroll far enough down, you'll see what it is. And it was technically my first cosplay, and it's a Nuln Oil pot.
Oh, that's right. I met you at LVO.
There it is. Yeah. I wore this to LVO. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's the best one because
of course it's filled.
So I can just like hide in it and go to sleep. Like,
how did you get the print done?
It's heat transfer vinyl. I cut it on a Cricut and
okay.
Yeah, I just like scanned the logo and then blew it up huge, and then that's that's that. So
and what? Just black furniture foam or something around you?
Yeah, it's like foam, like an inch thick foam, and then like one of those pop up like clothing hampers underneath it.
Go back to the cookies. What is that?
Oh yeah, I made Space Marine gingerbread cookies.
Did you print that? Like you print the cookie cutter?
Yeah.
See, you've got so many things you can make on a YouTube channel, girl.
Yeah, and I'm too lazy to make videos. I'm the worst influencer ever. I've done stuff for the last 2 years, and I literally just don't make video. Like it just takes. It sounds like I'm complaining, but it really takes so long.
Sorry, the Tyrannid with the bow is the best.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like you put it around his neck, you know, like as a pet.
Yeah.
Very, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Do you feel bonita?
Oh, this is awesome. I haven't, what is it, snooped out your social media. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a challenge. Right then. So anyway, I know you can't stay too much longer, but so
I'm good for a little bit. Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, cool.
So updates on the social media front. I post to Instagram every once in a blue moon. I'm gonna get better at doing that. Over the last 2 years, it's been just like a bunch of crazy stuff that's happened. Like, you know, I took over this business and I started working at his workshop, and I'm working for Nova and, you know, doing the narrative stuff, and then running local events, and then doing a whole bunch of other things. And then basically been dealing with figuring out like a chronic illness that has been affecting my ability to work. So that we're on the path to figuring that out, which is good. So I'm getting more energy back to do things and time to do things and whatever. But long story short, I'm going to start streaming on Twitch more kind of regularly, making some YouTube content very soon, which is going to be cool. And then kind of my idea for like when I don't have energy to necessarily do those, and just to keep, people updated on what I'm doing in general, I'm going to start like a blog on Patreon, but it's going to be basically like free, like optional donation. So the Patreon kind of vector is just like you can donate like $5 a month or whatever if you want, but otherwise it's just going to be a place where I do like updates and tutorials and just pictures or what stuff. I'm like, I don't want to make a video out of this, and this is too long of a thing to type out to put on Instagram, so I'm going to put it somewhere else. So
we also need to play Dark Tide together.
Yeah, we can all stream Dark Tide.
I played Dark Tide when it first came out. I was like super hyped. Played it, got so excited, and then like got ADHD sidetracked off onto like something else.
It's okay. I'm going back. It's worth it. It's so good. I love it.
So I'll tell you the two things. One, I think they did a fantastic job of creating a hive city. Like it's one of the things I love, just running around looking at all the.
Well, that was my problem in Dark Tide. Was like I was the one that was like 50 miles back behind everybody else, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Look at this barrel, like look at this
like
thing.
Look at this little vehicle they've got. This little like yeah. Oh, I do that all the time.
when Space Marine 2 came out, my boyfriend was like, "Do you want to play it together? It's like co-op." I was like, "You don't want to play this game with me. You don't. You know why? Because I'm gonna sit and I did. Once you actually get up to like the ship, I'm gonna sit in that area for 3 hours and watch everyone watch the tech priests like fall over barrels and like watch the other Space Marines walk around." Like, it's just so cool. I'm like, oh, can I read this book? Like, can I look at this thing? Like, I get to watch, and especially for cosplay purposes, you get to watch the models move around, interact in an environment. So I'm literally just like insane levels of watching Space Marines move around, just like walking and talking to each other, because you get to see how their armor
I even moves. Just from being in the Morning Star in the ship, like I was just like, all right, I got to make one of these censures, and so I actually 3D modeled and printed out the little censure that used to hang behind Miranda.
Because they're cool, like you get to see these models in motion, like living in an environment, and it's like really, really cool.
Oh yeah, the aesthetic is kind of unbeatable. It's gorgeous, and
so
did a really good job.
So there's the cool models, and then also Jasper Kidd did amazing music for it.
The music, oh Lord, yeah. I mean, Space Marine 2 is fine. I played through the campaign. Me and Paul played a bit, and we might have done a little bit of the co-op. Yeah, we did some co-op with the ops, but I find myself going back to Dark Tide because I'm like, I feel like I like living in this world more.
Well, that's another thing that I said about Dark Tide. It's like I want to look at all the environments too, and then that got me into trouble because I'm like running around the environment, and then I like trigger.
You get murdered by a horde.
Like whatever. Yeah. Like, are you so far ahead or behind? I'm like, I'm looking at this bridge. Like whatever, I don't care. Like, so
no, the artwork in there. I do that. I do the exact same thing. I have a huge folder of screenshots of just that game. Of just like, wow, that's awesome. Let me get a shot of that. Like, I might want to make this at some point. And there's been a lot of projects in the back of my mind that I'm like, I'm gonna make this.
What do you mean they kept the fiddle from Vermintide?
Do you mean like the fiddly bits, like the fiddly stuff, or like an actual fiddle that you play, like a violin?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't play Vermintide, so
I didn't either.
We played Vermintide and Vermintide 2, and it is quite good.
That's another, like, if you want to pick another faction, Skaven are cool. Like, I don't play Sigmar, but I love the concept of like meth rats, Like, cool.
Yes.
I just think it's awesome. Like,
I was about to say anthropomorphic rats, but I think meth
they're
rats is
yeah, they're little like mad scientist meth rats. Like,
Yeah,
that's what they are. Like,
yes,
you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, Vermintide, you definitely dealt with a lot of rats. Oh, the gutter runners were the worst, but
no, it's like the Secret of Nim, but on meth.
literally.
Yes.
what the hell?
What if kryptonite was like an energy source and it was also meth? And then we
There you
gave it
go.
to rats.
I mean, what is it called? Soul stuff? Soul
Warpstone.
Warpstone.
Yeah.
Warpstone. There you go. Skaven dialogue in Vermintide 2 is amazing. So Fat Shark always brought amazing voice acting and dialogue for all of their games. So like the Dark Tide stuff. I found a video online the other day of just the actual voice actors for Dark Tide in their room, like doing their voice acting lines, and they're like reacting to other stuff they're seeing. And you're like, man, that's so cool. Like,
one of the voice actors even has a YouTube channel where he'll get on and do and get on the voice comm and actually play with other players doing the voice.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
it freaks them out. Players like, what the hell? Wait,
Like
what
the
is
number
this?
one like reason I would want to be a famous voice actor in a video game is like I get to like mess with people like that. Like I got to do a video or voice acting for like a mobile game. I don't even know what the name of the mobile game was, but I got to be like a little bit part like in Korea when I was still over there doing like modeling. And it was like, I was like, yes, this is like a bucket list thing. I'm in a video game, but I don't even remember the name of it.
That was great.
But I got to do like record death lines for like 30 minutes where I was just like, like it was great.
So, Table War, the one who does like the mats and their stuff, like Doug from there, he has a famous death voice line in, is it EverQuest, I think?
Yeah. He did
wow.
voice acting in EverQuest.
He's
cool.
one of them. Yeah, he's the drowning dude or something in there, so you can always hear him. It's pretty awesome. All right, I almost have everybody. So since I still have you, Rachel, we are going to look at some of the minis from my
So
chat.
there's a section in our live show where we tend to check out people's miniatures as they send them into Miranda's Facebook.
Okay.
And
cool.
so that way we kind of check them out and talk about them. So if anyone's out there that's watching this for the first time, you can basically send pictures of miniatures you've painted that you want to show off, and we show them off.
Yes. I'm hoping I got them all. Facebook, for some reason, likes to, I don't know, obfuscate things, but I think I've got it.
Yeah, they do.
Lousy social media. So let's take
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Exactly. New folder. And then we'll wrap it up, but these are really cool. We got some really cool ones. Let's take it out. Take a look. What?
Mike is doing a great job at picking up mouse clicks.
Is it?
I
Oh,
was
that's great.
Could you guys hear my like paint shaker? If I run it, can you hear it? Okay, great.
I can
Very,
hear
very
that.
quietly.
A little tiny bit.
Here he is.
But it's not bad at all.
Oh, he looks so cute. So
What?
this is Dexter rolling up with the fancy pants terrain, which is all scratch built completely. So you're looking at foam and plasticard and popsicle sticks, craft sticks, whatever.
Wow.
And he does it like he had a gorgeous lighthouse.
So what is? I wish I could find out what is he doing for the stone texture, because they look like individual pieces, but he has a texture over there. I wonder how he's getting it. See on the top right up there, you see like some of them he hadn't painted yet. Is just kind of stuck down. That
I think
great.
it's XPS foam. They're just like probably cut into chunks and then glued together, so it's just a lot of effort.
It's just like a rock rolled over it, probably something like that.
Yeah.
Densely packed
foil.
aluminum foil I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah,
As a
that's
texture.
cool.
But yeah, So that's the top view.
That is a lot of work. That's brutal. Amazing. I'm assuming that's for I don't know what, like, I want to say bolt action, but I don't think bolt action has
it would scale for that, I'm sure, but I think this is
something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a Blood and Plunder one.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Although it'd be great for War Machine.
It would, exactly. I think it carries over just fine. So as always, gorgeous work. Jack posted. So this is a Cephalix model. This is from the War Machine world. And these models are kind of like, what would you call them? They're like sort of bondage inspired, like
evil lawyers.
Evil lawyers?
Yes.
No, evil lawyers are the
those are Cephalix. Oh no. You're right.
The other one, Infernals.
Infernals, that's right.
No, the Cephalix, they're like experiment. They're part of the undead faction, and but there's some really like lovely use of.
I look at that, I'm like, that's a sick AdMech kit bash. I don't know what that is, but
no.
But apparently it's War Machine.
No, it's the what are the dark AdMech called? They're the Chaos AdMech.
Dark Mechanicum.
Just dark. Yeah, that's a great Dark Mechanicum model.
It is.
Yeah.
Or like a Necromunda, like
his face.
Delac or whatever that is.
A giant metal tick is eating his head.
By the way, to answer your question on the previous model.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, gosh, that's it's legit when you're really going for authenticity.
That's how you do it. Blood and Plunder. It's part of his build for Trey Parker.
Cool.
So not a big deal. But yeah, so I love the highlights done here. Very good work. Underlying of the dual color, tastefully done. It's really hard to make purple not look garish. Sorry, Paul, but looks good. Over the P3 paint racks. Then we've got Jeremy rolling a succubus looking critter.
That looks cool. Like it against that backdrop and the mat. Like that looks great.
Yeah,
the stone looks cool. The terrain and stuff in the background looks really cool too. I like how it's like, it's like a scantily clad girl, but it's like, look at that thing in the background. Like, that's the meme, right?
No, it's always what I find with the miniatures. Like, even the scantily clad ones, people are always like, wow, that, like, they always find something else. Because you're like, oh, right, this is a nerd hobby. So. What company makes the succubus? I don't know, Jeremy. Is that a Reaper model or?
That is a Jeremy question. He'll probably reply to shortly in the chat.
Probably, but yeah, it looks really good, and the little stone texture around it looks sweet.
That looks cool.
Jerry sent in quite a few, so there's some really fun ones to look at here. So we've got fancy base. We're looking at some of that freehand already.
Not the freehand. No, it's good though.
Let me see.
Yeah, the musculature is cool.
It is. So that's Takanasuki from Anima Tactics. That is.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that. I don't know that character though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it looks cool.
It does, and I think that's like a scarf that's flinging around. It doesn't seem like it's part of his hair, so I don't know.
I think there's hair in there, and then
there's hair in
that little bit is the scarf.
And then good definition on the muscles, as always. Like, really rock some lovely work there.
Oh, Ray put a model in. Let's go.
All right, let me see if I can grab it. This is also one of Jeremy's. So he's got some work on the sword there. This one's much more, I guess, base colors. Looks really nice. Good detail.
I like the, there's like a bluish wash, I think, over the steel, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like a bluish greenish wash on the metals. I like that.
Yeah, you can see it on his little plates on his hips really well.
Oh, I love a good wash. What? Ray did that one? I swear I've seen this model before. That's awesome.
What do we got?
Oh, we'll get to it.
Next.
Another one of Jerry's.
Looks fun.
He's super cute.
I like the little plants too.
Yeah, no, good work on the plant stuff.
Yeah.
I always like a good plant.
Hard to go wrong. A pseudo dragon familiar on a shed corner by Reaper Miniatures. So nice.
That's really small then, probably, because I have some of the I found a bunch of Reaper familiar minis. They're like little tiny frogs, and I mean they're tiny, tiny, tiny. And so that's probably really small.
I bet that's a 1-inch base that it's on. Looks like an old school Warhammer base.
Oh my goodness.
Little square bases.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a description from Jack. The Cephalix, that bondage model I was showing you, kind of reminds me of the Dark Eldar enslaving and drugging their victims to use as living weapons, which is essentially what they do. So, yeah.
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 Also, another one from Jerry. This one looks fun. A great little hat. Oh, very, very good work on the face.
Like
Look at that. Look at her face. She's got a little fork and she's dancing. No, there's a lot of personality to that. I love it. It looks so pretty. And then again, more fancy base work. Jerry confirms 1-inch base on the pseudo dragon.
Very small, very cute.
And then this guy on this cool, like
very red. Very red. I like it.
It reminds me of the Wizards movie.
Oh, Necron 99.
Necron 99.
Yeah, he's kind of that color.
I need to see that. That sounds fun. What is that?
So it's an old movie called Wizards. It's a Ralph Bakshi animated, lots of rotoscoping, kind of strange.
I like it
from way back. Yeah, there's a main character in it. I don't know if I'd say he's a main bad guy sort of character named Necron 99, but he's that color. It's cool.
Fantastic.
This is Momimji from Anima Tactics is what that model is.
It's like if you're my age. Oh yeah, and the statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the whole piece is like just. You don't ever think that you're playing with these models, right? You're like, no. This is for the display.
That goes in a little case. Ooh.
All right, here's some freehand work here. Good Lord, Jerry.
It's like I'm upset because it looks good, not because like.
That's
that's really cool.
Kujaku Himi front view Anima Tactics again. So, gosh, the face is so good. Yeah. No, that's an amazing attention to detail. Like, these are really beautiful. So clearly, very talented people in my audience here.
Got some painters.
Yeah, got some people who bring it. And then there's the back.
Oh, and then the back, nice.
So
more freehand.
Wow, I love the little. Yeah.
Oh, it's just that. It's ridiculous.
Cool stuff. I like it.
Yes. JP, bring in a.
Oh.
Wow, that's a painting technique, dude.
Goblin shrine looking thing. Like, that's cool.
Oh yeah, look at that. The
mention on the red and the tusks and stuff on the moon. It's like cartoony, but like good, like in a definite way.
It's cartoony in that 90s paint style.
Old GW art cartooniness, which is
but not as poppy. Yeah, like it's really very well done. Yeah, it has a very painted look to it, like a painterly painted on canvas look to it.
It's almost illustrated.
Yeah.
And good on you for I'm guessing this is a like competition entry, and you've managed to get a good picture of your entry inside a display cabinet. So 10 out of 10.
That's so hard to do.
That's hard.
That is a good freaking point. Matthew, rolling up some minis here. Got like a few things going on. I don't really recognize the minis other than like where they're from. Let me see if he posted that.
The background one kind of looks like Bloodborne something, but I'm sure it's not. But
the proxy for the child near a completed Trapperkin. Okay, so we got the Trapperkin here for Grimkin.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who that boy is, but yeah, so there you go. Proxy for the child. Okay, that works.
I like whatever cool picture that was in the
there
back.
You go.
Oh yeah, this is Ray's.
Decided to just
whatever. I'm just gonna put in my golden demon entry that I got like whatever that was, notable or commended or whatever it was that year. That was like, oh, that's good. Yeah, whatever, Ray.
The poster wins it right there.
Yeah, this is really cool. I never got to see this one in person because this was 2024, I think.
That's the one we saw.
Yeah. So
No, it's really
It's
gorgeous.
super cool.
What the hell? There's more. Okay.
Oh, a little bit of OSL too. You can see the orangey yellow on his left arm from the
And on the
lamp.
desk too.
Yeah.
And then on the desk,
Mm-hmm.
And then
cool.
what does that say?
Coffee boys.
Coffee boys. Okay. Yeah, no, that's
cool.
gorgeous. Okay, so that would explain why I've seen it before. Because I'm like,
I think it got posted on
rolling up
Warhammer
with the
Community too.
Baba Yaga house.
Yeah, Baba Yaga house is great.
That's cool. I like that.
Okay, there we go. Also from that. I love it. Yeah, no, this is coming along great. I think I saw some progress pictures of this one before.
How big is that? I mean,
that's probably 180 mil.
Big.
I feel like a 6-inch base, maybe.
5-inch, I think, is usually what it is.
Well, if that's like an inch grid on the bottom there.
Oh, no, you're right.
No, it looks like that's a wooden base, so it's probably more of an inch than a millimeter.
It's probably like this.
Yeah.
I've got similar ones that I put like big knights on and like Eldar Titans and stuff like that. They're like little plinths that they sell at like Hobby Lobby or like craft stores like that. Yeah. So I think it's probably about yay big, which is like, I don't know.
Some fine attention, a little plant life coming up here.
That's cool.
Oh my
God. I like that.
Thomas, award-winning painter again.
Those are cute. I like that.
These are from War Machine. These are from War Machine. These are the Trollkin.
Those are nice.
They're pirates, so great look. That kind of
non-metallic metal,
cartoony look.
Look bad.
It's so good. It plays so well.
No, it looks good. I like the swords and the guns. I mean, it's all non-metallic metal from what I can see.
Yeah, it looks cool. Those look great.
Nice. The Marauder crew for the Brine Blood Marauders. Why is that hard to say? I don't know. I think that's everyone that I could get. I was hoping. Let me see here. There might be. Oh, you said there was a monstrosity. Let me see if I can grab him real quick too. I'm hoping. Facebook is just hiding these stupid things from me. Because it'll hide pictures and whatever. I don't know. Let's see here. So
I like the last detail on those, the like moss that's growing on the boards in the bottom. Like
like that real slight additional color.
That's cool. That's a little extra touch, but it makes it definitely look like it's Oh yeah, there we go. It's
the
big.
base is 11. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Wimma. Nice. Well, okay then.
See, that was an inch grid. I was right.
Yes, it was.
You're right. You're 100% right. Let's get back here. There we are. Monstrosity from Jack.
Oh, cool.
So that is from the Cephalix model again. That bondage model. This is like the machines that he controls that are,
machines that are made out of human flesh.
Of flesh, yeah. They're Frankensteins essentially, like melded with machines. Wow, those toes really stand out. Look at those toes.
Yeah.
Yay for drawing on.
I'd have to go to a doctor for that, man. I don't know.
It looks so good. So there you go. Now,
cool.
My audience has such cool stuff. Makes me want to work on my own stuff. So thank you to everybody who contributed to the Facebook post to show off what you were working on. I am always impressed with you guys. My goodness. We're probably going to wrap it up here because it's 8 o'clock my time. A little later for you, Miss Rachel. And you have any?
Yeah, it's like 9 o'clock for me, which is why I've been yawning over the last 10 minutes. Apologies to the
it's okay.
in the chat.
She's living in Central Time over there.
Oh yeah.
But I'll be seeing you at Nova at least,
yes.
And maybe before then, if you find some time. You don't need a lot of energy to play Dark Tide. It's fine. We'll have
fun. No, we'll just do another stream, and you can join me on my stream, and then it makes me actually stream, and then it makes you paint something. So
maybe I'll paint something. I don't know. I actually like assembling more than painting. So
I don't like assembling out of the box, but I like kit bashing
Yeah, kit bashing is something I'm just barely starting to feel confident enough to do. So, okay. Well, so yes, like I said, we'll end it here. We'll be chatting in the comments a little bit, so feel free to keep posting there. Otherwise, we'll be back in 2 weeks for the 23rd. And in the meantime, keep on hobbying, keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. All right. Playing our outro. Copy that. No more sandwiches, Barry. What's wrong with this place? I'm in the west corridor. I'm right outside the generator room. I'm out of bullets.